There are hundreds of cooking shows, thousands even. And yet only one person has figured out how to make every version of the genre work. It's all Gordon Ramsay. And it was not just from one lucky hit or one lucky format. It is in every tone, every audience, and really every era at this point that Gordon Ramsay has perfected the cooking show. And by the end of this video, you will realize that none of it was an accident. And believe it or not, no, it's not just because he yells. I know, crazy. Stick around. So fellas and fellettes, here's the thing. No, not that thing. This thing. Cooking shows should not work this well. Cooking is slow, it's technical, and you can't even taste the food when you watch a cooking show. So why is it really that exciting? Well, for a lot of shows, it's not. Most cooking shows seem to fall into one or two categories: painfully boring or painfully fake. And when you look in the entire genre as a whole, it's kind of a mess. So many of these shows come and go, so many formats try and fail, and also there are so many chefs that are just chefs. They're really not too exciting of people. But then there's Gordon Ramsay.
What are you doing, Melinda? What are you doing? You're making me mad!
Yes, chef.
Mad!
Yes, chef.
And what's weird isn't that he has just one successful show, it's that Hell's Kitchen works, MasterChef works, MasterChef Junior works, Kitchen Nightmares works, Next Level Chef, it works. And some of these other random things that he did at one point or another, Hotel Hell, 24 Hours to Hell and Back, Secret Service, they all work. Somehow. They're completely different audiences, they're completely different vibes, and they all have the same result, which is success. Which really raises the question, how does one person dominate an entire genre like that? To understand that question, we really kind of have to understand him. Who is Gordon Ramsay? Gordon had a pretty insane backstory, honestly, which I think is worth sharing on this video, just in a concise manner. His childhood started with a pretty bad father, which I won't get into too much. And also, he had a failed youth soccer career, which is pretty crazy. He had dreams of going pro at one point, and a soccer injury basically just completely derailed his entire career in that sense. So he started pivoting to cooking, and he grew up in brutal professional kitchens. And I think that's what really inspired a lot of his shows to this day as well. These kitchens really showed Gordon what the serious restaurant industry actually looked like. They had high standards, they had no patience for nonsense, and they had ego, but it was very earned. Sound like any show of his you might know?
This is why I'm pissed off. Touch that. That's raw.
But that all does matter, because at the end of the day, Gordon Ramsay doesn't necessarily play a character. He is playing himself, whether that's a slightly exaggerated version of it, it's still him. And every show that he's in feels like it's built around him, and not the other way around. Which brings us to the real reason why all of these shows work. This is the genius part. Every show serves a pretty different audience. Kitchen Nightmares is not really a cooking show at all. It's a freak show, and that's genuinely what it is. It's failing restaurants, unhinged owners, family drama, and health violations that should probably be sometimes illegal to air on national television, because like, what the heck are you doing? What is going on? Like, why are there rats running around in these kitchens? What is going on with these filthy air fryers? I don't know. And don't even get me started on Amy's Baking Company. Oh my goodness.
Attacked.
Attacked.
Why are you behaving like this?
Because I'm insulted. You verbally insulted me yesterday, and I held my
told you
tongue
the
out of
truth.
class. I didn't tell you the truth. I didn't
Why are you
say
pointing?
nasty things to you.
Really?
Okay, really, I didn't really.
When I told you about the burger, you refused to listen.
You don't understand.
But this show, Kitchen Nightmares, is for people that like to watch things fall apart. They like to see things be put back together. They like to see a nice, inspirational, bounce back, comeback story. And Ramsay is the perfect guide through all of this chaos in the show. A lot of times in Kitchen Nightmares, he's very harsh, but he's extremely competent as well in what he's doing and saying. He can be angry, but really he's always looking out for people, and his anger is completely justified.
I love you, you old Brit.
Obviously, no, you should not be serving raw chicken to customers. And with Kitchen Nightmares though, you're not watching to learn recipes or see how people are technically cooking. You're watching to see if the place that he's in should exist, or if he should even fix it or save it in the first place. Then we have MasterChef, which is the complete opposite. which is crazy. MasterChef is Gordon's family-friendly show, in my opinion. It's family TV, it's aspirational, inspirational, and it's kind of a, I could maybe do that. You see MasterChef, and if you're a pretty talented home cook, you're thinking, wow, maybe I could actually do that, which is pretty cool, actually, and very opposite of different other shows that he has, which again, all different. In MasterChef, though, Gordon dials everything back. He's encouraging a lot of times, he's pretty emotional sometimes, but at the same time, he's still strict, but still controlled. He's the same guy, but just with another different tone for a different audience. But the show is still balanced out a little bit by Joe. If you've seen MasterChef, you know what I'm talking about. He kind of takes the real Gordon Ramsay role a lot of times in that show. But MasterChef, unlike Kitchen Nightmares, is not about like humiliation or anything insane like that. It's about potential, seeing a genuinely good chef and chefs all cook until one of them is the best of the best. Then we have one of Gordon's newer entries to this list, which I think is actually a top 2 Gordon Ramsay show now at this point, and it's Next Level Chef, which kind of sounds like a game show, and in a weird way, it almost functions more of a game show than a cooking show, actually. On paper, Next Level Chef sounds like a lot of bologna, no pun intended. I would never cook bologna. What a disgusting ingredient. Where's the lamb sauce? But anyways, Next Level Chef. 3 kitchens stacked on top of each other in a pretty insane set. Platforms are moving up and down, ingredients are dropping from these platforms, and there is a sense of urgency through this entire show. All of this insanity sounds like something that should honestly work, but it does. Because Gordon and his other 2 co-hosts, they adapt. Gordon is great at that, adapting to anything really and making it work and genuinely making it good as well. The gimmick of the platform and the levels becomes the stakes of the show. And the format itself adds a lot of tension as well. And it really feels like the 21st century Gordon Ramsay show. The real modern Gordon Ramsay. And it does that without feeling desperate or like Gordon was picking at straws to try and find his next big show. It just feels smart. And then we have to talk the most about Hell's Kitchen, the magnum opus of any Gordon Ramsay show. This is the show. Hell's Kitchen is pure stress. It is old school reality TV. It has insane, funny editing, man. It is hilarious. The editing in this show is just wild.
Duck is perfect. Thank you, chef. I will always be the queen of the meat station. Come on now.
It looks like some 2016 pro editor on YouTube cooked this thing together in their lab. Like, it just doesn't even make sense why it's good, but it is that good. And the casting, more on the old school reality TV front, feels intentional. It doesn't feel TikTok brained, social media focused. It feels like these people are pulled right out of old school reality TV casting, which if you've seen older reality TV, you know their casting is so much better than these days. What I mean by old school casting is basically that these people are a bit rough. And I say that in the nicest way possible. They don't come from a shiny, lovely background in California with a mansion a lot of times. It feels like they've had some seriously difficult upbringings, and that is so much more interesting than all these social media people that we see on all these other reality TV shows. So whoever's still on that casting team for Hell's Kitchen needs a complete raise. But this show really has been around forever now. Hell's Kitchen has withstood the test of time insanely well, and it's really still the same show too, which is even more crazy. The pacing, it's insane, it's fast, it's fun. The pressure never stops in it. There is always pressure. You can feel the pressure of the kitchen services specifically. They're very crazy, like they always are. And the structure is airtight. You have reward, you have kitchen services, you have punishment. It's always the same stuff typically, and it's all great. If Kitchen Nightmares is chaos and MasterChef you would consider heart, then Hell's Kitchen, it is discipline. It is struggle. That's what it feels like. And this is Gordon Ramsay at full power. He just got the Infinity Gauntlet. It's on. He's locked in. But he is snapping everybody out of existence with this thing. Like, oh my lord. It is insanely good. I could go ahead and break down every single show that he has done, but I'm not going to do that for the sake of the runtime of this video, because I think you get the point at this point. All of these shows are very different, yet still Gordon Ramsay. And something else that I do want to mention before I move on to the common denominator of all these shows is something that's kind of neat. Throughout all of these Gordon Ramsay shows, whether it's Secret Service or Hell's Kitchen or MasterChef, it's cool because it's kind of like the Ramsay Multiverse in a way. You see a lot of returning people from these other shows across all of the shows. Like just recently we had Hell's Kitchen winner Rock in Secret Service. And it's not some weird Marvel nostalgia bait thing either. It's like they're genuinely doing something because it's cool to see experts of cooking on other cooking shows. And if Ramsay can benefit from having all these people that have been in his shows, why not take that to your benefit? I can't complain about more people that are good at cooking. So the common denominator between all of these shows is actually quite interesting, and it's a lot deeper than you might think. You might have just thought it was everything that I've so far addressed in this video, but there is actually a lot more still. All of these shows, they are different, they have different tones, they have different audiences. Check, check, check. And as I've stated, they all have the same result: success. Because Gordon isn't just a host of these shows. He is an anchor when it comes to perfecting the cooking show. And really, he is a genius with the teams that he has put together to make these shows. Because every show has clear stakes. There is always something at stake, and typically it feels very heavy weighted in that stake. Every show has a strong and very tight structure as well. You know what to expect, and they're not messing around whatsoever. And something that might go more underrated that I think is actually extremely important is editing that supports the tension in the show, and just editing of the different shows in general, because not every Gordon Ramsay show is edited nearly the same. And that's really, really important, I think, because of these different audiences that the shows attract. It's a lot like YouTube in a sense. I'm editing this video for a specific audience, and I know that if I edit it in a different way, a different audience might enjoy it more. It really is all perspective, and Ramsay is great at this. And you might think, wow, this guy's listing a lot of things, but I am not done, because there is more. And these are probably actually even more important than the other things I just said. Another thing that works in every show, and what makes it a Gordon Ramsay show, is there is a central authority figure, the principal of cooking, if you will. And that's Ramsay. If you didn't know, it's him. He is a perfect all-arounder for that figure as well. He's very loud and passionate and crazy when he knows his show needs some chaos. He's calm when it needs warmth and passion and care for somebody in the show. And he's very relentless and knows how to build and push pressure into the show when it needs it as well. It's like he's directing while in the show. Those things are all great when talking about the actual show, but I want to talk about Gordon and just how smart he is as a human being and what he's actually doing and how he's built his brand as well. Because I wouldn't be talking about any of this if he wasn't a notable social media chef as well. He became a master at social media and memes. This guy has insane amounts of YouTube followers, Instagram followers, people that want to collab with him. Everybody wants to get in on the social credit that Ramsay has. And obviously through his shows and through how he's built his shows and the person he is, he's built memes as well that kind of transcend all of that as well.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Where's the lamb sauce?
And through all of this, if this guy was just language, a huge dick,
Donkey!
like everybody thinks he actually is. And when I say everybody, I mean people that haven't actually watched a lot of these shows, because that's the biggest misconception with Ramsay. If he was a massive jerk to everybody and anybody, he would not be as successful as he actually is. He is a very caring person, and I think that gets lost in a lot of the "what are you, an idiot sandwich" and all of the yelling in Hell's Kitchen, but genuinely, this guy cares a lot about people.
Do something I've never done before. I want you to come and spend a week with me.
Yes, sir.
In my 3 Michelin star establishments.
Wow.
And just stand in a kitchen in Chelsea, in the middle of London. Would you like to come?
I will. I'll be there.
It's been an incredible journey.
Yes, sir.
And I can't wait to see you in London. Keep hold of that jacket.
Thank you, sir.
And he cares a lot about his shows. And I think that's the side that a lot of people don't actually see. And really, maybe the biggest reason out of all of this that he has been so successful. People like the guy. I like the guy. I think he's a very inspirational person. And if I had one word to describe him, it's adaptable. Just look at Hell's Kitchen for a great example of this. He's realized that screaming at people has partially become his brand, but he's not as brutal and just intense as he used to be, because he's basically just adapting to how reality TV is. It's not as brutal and insane as it once was, and he's realized that. I know, holy yap, but I had to get my point across because this whole thing is not as simple as some might think. And it's not just one basic answer. Another huge thing to talk about before we wrap this up quickly is Gordon's restaurants. Because of his cooking shows, he has had mass success with restaurants popping up all over the place. And I have actually been to 4 of these restaurants, and every single one, I can tell you, I am not disappointed. And I think that's also a big thing because he's practicing what he preaches in his shows. Obviously, his shows in a way are a massive advertisement for a lot of his brands. And with that said, a lot of his main flagship brands, his big expensive restaurants, live up to the hype of the shows. I mean, Hell's Kitchen, it has great hype. Everybody's saying how good the food is, and I go to Hell's Kitchen, the food is good. I say, wow, Ramsay, you're right. Your show is good. You're spitting facts. One might even say that he cooked. And really, he has built an insane empire, from these shows to the restaurants to everything else, his social medias. It's been really quite crazy to see the rise of Gordon Ramsay. And maybe I should have called this video the rise of Gordon Ramsay, I don't know. But with that said, cooking shows didn't just peak accidentally. One person figured out how to make every version of this genre work. And it wasn't just from the screaming, it wasn't just from being famous, it was by understanding why they work and executing them to perfection. Ramsay hasn't only just dominated cooking TV, he pretty much solved it. As he gets older and older as well, I'm excited to see what else he keeps coming up with, because I think we're gonna see another completely random Ramsay banger pretty soon in the future here. Subscriber, you are an idiot sandwich. I didn't say it. Gordon did.